Hello everyone. So it gives me immense pleasure to welcome Dr. Vaishnav, who has scored an amazing rank of AML rank of 9 in the neonatology entrance exam in the INISS exam that was held last month. So obviously within pediatrics, neonatology is arguably the toughest in terms of the demand and the competition that is there, and also the seats at the same time in especially in the May session they are very few. It varies from session to session, but in general in the May session it's quite few. So firstly, congrats to take the strong decision to give this particular competitive subspecialty and then crack it with flying colors. So Vaishnav, how are you feeling firstly after this result?
Thank you, sir. I'm feeling very much relieved because it is a quite competitive exam and uh, used to study 10 to 12 hours a day. And after laborious hours of studies, now I'm feeling relieved, very much relieved. That's finally gonna happen.
Yeah, relief is something that we have been feeling at like after our UG and then PG and then SS, but hopefully we will get that someday. Anyway,
Yes, sir.
so let's come back a little bit. Tell us about yourself, about your academic journey.
Sir, actually, my hometown is Saharanpur, UP, and I have done my UG from Government Medical College, Haldwani, Uttarakhand. And I have done my post graduation from SNMC Agra. And then after my MD, I have done 2 years of SRship from LLRM Medical College, Meerut.
So this is another thing that it's always a doubt for pediatrics especially, and unless you are going into a proper metro corporate area, it's still not an end branch. It's still not a branch which requires super specialty per se. That is, it's an end branch in many aspects. So how did you take this decision firstly to go for super specialty, and also within that you would have multiple options? So how did you finally zero in on neonatology as your preferred choice?
Yes, sir, you are right. Because as a pediatrician, we always think that it is an end branch. But during MD, I didn't realize anything to be a super specialist. But during my SRship, I came to realize that I should focus on super specialty also. Because the demand is also increasing. All the super specialty is increasing. So in LLRM, our previous HOD, Dr. Amit Upadhyay, he is a neonatologist practicing there. He has his own hospital in Newtima. So from him, I got inspiration that I should take neonatology as my career further.
Great. Like this is one thing that I've been seeing, that many students at the time of their JR-ship, they feel that it's an end branch and they obviously love general pediatrics. But slowly, especially during that senior residency, they always feel a certain lacuna that okay, I should go to the next step. So that is always something that somebody doing an MD can keep in mind. If you have a doubt, you go to your seniors, especially who are a few years past their MD, and ask them what the pathway should be, I think. Then
Yes, sir.
yeah, so obviously
Yes, sir.
your
It is.
primary.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It is very essential that we should be very clear during our MD time that what we want to perceive ahead. Because by the time we realize, it will be too late for us because we will be lacking from our from colleagues of medicine and surgeries also. So I think to make our mind during our residency days is beneficial for us.
Yeah, that is one thing that in medicine surgery people are very much inclined a little bit from the beginning.
Yes,
In
sir.
pediatrics, it's okay to not do it. Obviously it's not as essential as medicine surgery, but again, if you should be strong about that decision, right? You should be clear about that decision, to put it in a
Yes.
better way. And you obviously have, even if you were not initially, you have come back and you have achieved what you wanted. So
Yes.
then coming to your preparation journey. So obviously INISS was your primary exam, as you were saying. You were focused on getting into that neonatology seat in your national institute, central institute. So how did you prepare for it? Let's talk about the theory aspect first, and then we'll go to the interview.
Yes, sir. Actually, my journey started way back in 2023, first of all, because I gave my first exam in May 2023. But that was a very casual exam. I gave it to have my idea about the INISS, how the exam is, how it is planned. So it was not qualified. Then in November 2023, I got engaged, so I won't be able to give that exam. And last year, May 2024, I qualified for the exam by preparing from it. And then in November 2024 was the very tough exam. It was out of the blue. So topics were really asked from guidelines, mainly, basically from the guidelines only. So I won't be able to make it. But this time I prepared starting from January, and then I focused mainly on AIMS NICU protocol. I should suggest everyone to focus AIMS NICU protocol just like NCRT. Line by line, you should have to be very thorough about it. And first few chapters of clarity, and then practice MCQs as much as you can. And the doc tutorial is really a good platform which can provide you the very much thorough with the questions and how to apply it. And the interview session by Dr. Aditya is also helped me out. He gave us the core ideas in how much sessions the interview is held, and what type of questions they ask. And these things, clubbing these things helped me a lot. And on the background, I also prepared for NEET essays. With the general pediatrics, Nelson based was there. So I prepared it from Nelson and practice questions from Doc Tutorial. That completed my preparation of general pediatrics. So this was the main source for the preparation of the exam.
Yeah, I think like whatever I've been talking to toppers, and everybody is giving this feedback that in pediatrics and in pediatric subspecialties, you have this specific standard textbook like Nelson. You obviously have to read over and above
Yes,
that, rather than going for some notes or something. It's better you do the questions and maybe revise your Nelson retrospectively. Maybe you can use your videos for understanding a topic, but rather than any notes, it's very good to focus on these Q bank and retrospective study. That is what most students are doing, and I think it's working very well.
yes,
And
sir.
also, as you
Yes, sir. I have done the same thing. Basically, first of all I attempted the topic-wise questions from Doc Tutorial, and then retrospectively I gone through the lens Nelson. And from Nelson, I with these questions I came to know that which line is the important in the Nelson that in that topic, and how to apply that Nelson in that topic. So that was a main thing that made me that boosted my preparation of the general pediatrics, and also the neonatology sections of the doc tutorial. They were questions were focused on NICU protocol also, and from
yeah, yeah.
Clovarti also. You have framed questions from tables of NICU and tables of Clovarti. So that also helped me a lot, because by attempting the questions, you remember the most, I think.
Definitely, because especially when you have some certain tables where there is a lot of information, if you do the question and you look back at it, then that photographic memory kind of sticks there,
Yes,
gets
sir.
formed there. So you
Yes, sir.
talked about the interview also, which is obviously 20% of contribution to your rank or your basically total marks. So how was your interview, especially for somebody your junior who might be giving it next year? Like just a brief summary of how the interview was, and any tips for your juniors.
Actually, sir, interview is they frame interview in two sessions. First is the morning session, and second is the afternoon session or evening session. In morning session, they were mainly focused on the clinical aspects. They gave the clinical scenarios, and and in that clinical scenario, they gave some subparts of that questions. So you have to answer that questions. And in I think that would be of 10 marks. And the afternoon session is of general pediatrics focused. That is of 10 marks, in which they ask about some cystic fibrosis, maybe asthma guidelines, or they can ask about genetics, they can ask about neurology, syndromes, and seizures syndromes, etc. So it is of the limited time frame, and they just give limited time to each and every question.
Okay. And like coming to your guidance aspect of it for juniors, right? So most of our MD residents or like pediatricians, they take this decision of choosing a super specialty or going for super specialty towards the end of final year or many times in SRship, right? So what would you advise them from a preparation perspective? How should they target? What targets they should have, and how to go about their preparation in general?
Yes, sir. Actually, thinking about the MD, first year is quite hectic. So people don't get any time to think that what they are going to be as a super specialist. So basically, I think they will not have any idea in the first year. And I think second year a little bit quite relaxing, so they can have idea ki what they want to be. Because now pediatrics is also evolving as a super specialty branch. Now people are opting for DM neurology, neonatology, even gastroenterology also. So if MD students have those sub departments in their college, then it would be very best for them to go there and to look what are the career aspects in that super specialty, and talk to their mentors, talk to their seniors in that department, and get a clear idea that I that what they want to opt in it. And secondly, I just also want to give advice to these people that after first year, you should start focusing on Nelson-based preparation. You should be the case that you are seeing. You should read it from Nelson only, because that will give you a crisp idea. Okay, what in that topic, what that thing is important. And by reading Nelson multiple time, you will all that Nelson will get engraved in you, and start practicing questions from second year only, because post MD it will be very difficult to study 8 to 12 hours, because some family aspects, marriage, and everything will be burdened on you. So taking these things into account, I think they should focus for preparation from second year only.
Yeah, especially in pediatrics, we like have this, like kind of a very nice thing that everybody knows that Nelson is standard. There is no confusion, and luckily
Yes, sir.
even the examiners, NEET essays or INSs, they everybody knows that okay, Nelson is the standard. So Nelson you obviously have to read, and you use other tools. Maybe you can use videos to understand some topic, you can use QBank to refresh or understand what line is important, but Nelson is something that everybody should read, and as you all are reading as well, right? So
One
obviously,
one
yeah.
thing, one thing, sir. Actually, I just also want to focus that your mainly academics were from AIMS. So you had a very good idea about how faculties frame those questions. So I followed you and Dr. Aditya from very beginning, from my third year only, that how they cracked the exam of AIMS, and so I keep following you, and got a little bit interest in that I should once be an AIMSonian. So that was also an inspiration. Ki if I want to do my specialty, it can be AIMS.
Thank you so much. And obviously, like the one thing, again, a takeaway for somebody who's seeing the interview, what me or Aditya always say is to read the important things repeatedly. For example, sometimes what I
Yes.
see is somebody might be seeing a pediatric cardiology case in their ward or something, and they will directly go and try to open Park's pediatric cardiology. So instead of that, firstly, if you're thorough with Nelson, then well and good. But try to read your Nelson first, be sure with it, because it's a very well written book as well. It's not like you won't
Yes.
understand it, you will understand it as well. And especially most of our science is remembering facts, right? So that those important facts are all given in your Nelson for your clinical aspect of it, as well as your for exams. Then yeah, so
One thing, sir. Sorry, sir. One thing I just want to focus that the neonatology aspect is also given in Nelson. So
yeah,
side by side, we should also focus on that part of neonatology also, because in
yeah,
that they've also given about the surgery like vesicomyiotic shunt and prenatal closure of the meningomyelocele. So that's these are also the area where questions can be framed. So we can
yeah.
also focus on these aspects also of neonatology based on Nelson mainly.
Yeah, especially in I think NEET SS. I think there is NEET SS neonatology part of it. They are actually asking questions from Nelson. Some Nelson lines are also being picked up. So yeah, even in your neonatology, don't obviously for your INI, your NICU AIMS protocol is like your Bible, but as you said, NCRT, as we read in our 11th, 12th. But in your NEET SS, always remember that Nelson neonatology is also important. Then obviously you're coming to your rank, the center stage of your preparation would be you. But how, like, who would you like to thank your support system around you?
First of all, I want to thank the Almighty to, for giving so much of persistence that I stayed and glued to my goal. Uh, and secondly, my wife, who stood beside me for both financially and emotionally, my parents, my in-laws, and a special thanks to Dr. Anil JS, who last year cracked me AIMS. He's in AIMS Jodhpur now, good friend of mine, and Dr. Deepak, who is currently doing DM Neonatology from Osmania Medical College. They both supported me very well, and they just asked me to focus on the crisp concepts and the main topics, and don't get distracted. So, and special thanks to DocTutorials question banks also, because the neonatology part, they really helped me a lot in retaining the NICU, AIMS NICU protocol.
Thank you so much. It was really nice talking to you. Your journey was amazing, and more importantly, I hope our juniors, definitely take away a lot from your journey and come out with flying colors as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.